You're listening to The Scrimmage with Daniel Hargrove and Justin Damasiewicz.
In today's show, we might get a little distracted at some points because in 3 minutes and 50 seconds, our fantasy draft is starting. And this is a fantasy football league that Justin has been in forever and me slightly less than forever because I was added in a little bit later. But it's our keeper league draft. So we'll try not to get too distracted. And, you know, all the top picks are already gone pretty much because we get to keep 6 players from our previous year. So we'll try not to get too distracted, but don't be surprised if in the middle of Justin's favorite segment, Stump Daniel, he starts making fun of me for who I picked in our fantasy draft.
Yeah, I thought that Stump Daniel was just going to be making fun of Daniel's fantasy draft.
I actually have something that I find personally very interesting for Stump Daniel. But here's the deal. While we're doing Stump Daniel...
Brought to you by the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz.
Thank you very much. Do you have a legal situation and need someone on your side? Let the law office of Jeffrey A. Damasiewicz be your advocate. If you've been the victim of medical malpractice, suffered a personal injury, or need representation with real estate law, small business law, or estate planning, let Jeff Damasiewicz put his 29 years of experience to work for you. Call Jeff Damasiewicz today at 360-612-3991 or visit damasiewiczlaw.com. That's DAMASIEWICZLAW.com. When we're doing Stump Daniel, you have to keep an eye on the draft and let me know if my pick is coming up soon. Because I have to pull up a separate sheet so that I can have all my information in front of me for Stump Daniel, okay? So we have about 3 minutes till draft time. I have the 10th pick. The reason I have the last pick in the draft is because I won the league last year. Just so everyone knows, I have the last pick. So
did we ever fix that where we don't snake it because it's a keeper draft?
No.
I always felt like we needed to change that.
We voted on that, and
everybody else was wrong.
No, it was not. It wasn't a unanimous vote, but the majority felt we should continue to snake.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
because when I'm terrible, I want to be rewarded.
People who end up more often in the bottom of the league would have tended to feel like, yeah, we should not snake it.
But majority rules, I guess. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to draft.
Okay, Stump Daniel.
Okay.
This came up for me, and we actually had a short conversation about this at one point. When the pandemic first started coming down, all sports were shutting down, businesses were shutting down, there's pandemonium everywhere, and one phrase that I kept hearing come up over and over again was uncharted territory. Okay. So that is what I have believed that phrase was, that idiom, uncharted territory. I had believed that my entire life. I started hearing some people on radio shows and people who I generally respect as people who know words and phrases saying uncharted territory. So I started thinking about it and I was going, okay, well, technically both of those make sense. Because uncharted could mean like it's not on a map, like it hasn't been mapped yet. It hasn't been put on a chart yet.
Exactly.
Uncharted could mean you haven't traveled there. So either one of those could technically make sense. And I looked it up, and there's not a lot of like agreement on what the actual saying is.
Okay.
But it started making me think, what kinds of phrases in our English language do people regularly use incorrectly?
Lots.
So I looked up a bunch of phrases or idioms that are commonly used in the English language. I'm going to tell you what it is, and you tell me if this is the correct idiom or if people are saying it wrong.
So we are not going sports. We're just going English trivia here.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
There's a little bit of a sports tie-in on one of them.
Okay.
That I think because what I did was I looked them up, and then I looked up where they come from.
Daniel, your degree is in journalism.
I mean, Daniel...
So you should be well prepared for this.
Words is kind of your living because you speak words on the radio and you write words.
Great. So you're going at my home turf again.
But
5 seconds to draft.
I think you have a pretty good shot at doing pretty well here.
Okay.
I think I knew most of these. There's a couple that caught me off guard. Okay.
Oh, it started. Sorry.
Draft is on.
Yep.
Here's the first one, Daniel. I could care less. Is that correct or incorrect? I could care less.
That is incorrect.
Okay, what is the correct saying?
I couldn't care less.
Absolutely. Now, I'll just say, this is one that drives me nuts more than any other one in the world. And one of the most egregious mistakes was from LeBron James one time. And he didn't even say it. He typed it. So
Come on, LeBron.
I could care less indicates you have more cares to give.
No, I'm almost up.
I couldn't care less means you have...
It's my turn.
Okay, it's Daniel's turn in the draft.
Who are you drafting?
Well, the guys who I left off my team looks like they've already got picked up. So
Okay, Edwards-Helaire got picked first.
Yep. And
Robert Woods got picked second. Chris Carson got picked third. Kyler Murray got picked fourth.
Ugh.
And Kenyon Drake got picked fifth. So here comes Daniel's pick. He's got a few choices here. You got Jonathan Taylor. You got Miles Sanders.
Is this a
Raheem
PPR league?
Mostert. It is not PPR.
I think I'm going to go with...
You also have the real D Johnson on the board.
I know. That one's...
Daniel, we had a draft last week, and Daniel picked a D Johnson from Houston.
I think
thinking it was David Johnson. It was actually Duke Johnson.
Yeah, that was not good. I'm going to take Miles Sanders. Wait,
okay, Philadelphia running back.
No, don't freeze.
Well, he's the next ranked guy, I think, anyway.
So it should pick him?
I feel like it would pick him automatically.
Why
for
isn't
you.
it? It's not working.
Daniel picked Miles Sanders.
Okay, I got to figure out how this works here.
Okay, Jonathan Taylor
Why
is
didn't that
now
work?
off the board.
Okay, here's
No,
Justin.
he picked my guy, Jimmy.
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 Did Jimmy take?
He picked Cam Akers. Oh, well. So I'm going to get Mark Andrews back. He was my tight end.
Okay, then
And I left him unprotected.
Then who you going with?
So this
Don't
is an
do it.
interesting choice because I could pick David Johnson in Houston.
Everybody is so enthralled right now. They probably hate our guts.
But also, I have Nick Chubb, so I could pick Kareem Hunt as a handcuff. Or I could go with DeAndre Swift. These are good choices. And actually, my strategy of picking a buttload of rookie running backs has paid off pretty well for me in the past. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take DeAndre Swift.
Okay.
DeAndre Swift is off the board. I've got my 2 picks.
You now know who I'm going to take next, even though I don't need him.
Are you going to pick him? Just to set the table for this year. We will get back to Stump Daniel in a
I'm
minute.
the most homer picker of all time.
Daniel
Can I not pick him?
had 6 keepers, and he left both of his running
It's
backs.
my turn.
He left both of his running backs off his roster, and he picked 4 wide receivers as keepers. Now, I had Brandon Cooks on my team, who was a Beaver and one of Daniel's favorite players of all time. So now Daniel is in the process, I believe, of going in to pick him
I was
to add a
but
5th receiver to his roster
You
while
know-
he still only has 1 running back.
Now you can play
I
3
was,
receivers.
but
Yeah,
Justin?
3 receivers.
3 receivers.
But he
Okay.
has 4.
I took David Johnson instead. I think Cooks is gonna fall to me.
You picked
again.
Duke Johnson again.
No, not Duke. No.
Okay.
Okay, back to so what's the next? You were telling us about how LeBron typed a terrible.
Yeah, I'm going to move on to the next one, okay?
Okay.
Here's the next one. I've got this in the bag. Is that correct or incorrect?
I've got this in the bag. I think that's correct.
Okay.
That
Is
makes
that your
sense.
final answer?
Yeah.
Yes, it is correct.
Don't try and
I was
scare
trying-
me off of
I was
it.
trying to trick you. But the meaning of this one is really interesting. So in 1916, the New York Giants baseball team had a run of 26 consecutive wins. Every game they had a bag filled with 72 baseballs put out on the field, just in case like they get dirty or they get hit out, they just replace it with another ball.
Okay.
Well, during the crazy winning streak, they got in the habit of grabbing the bag in the 9th inning and taking it back off the field. So they
Nice.
felt like, we've got this in the bag. In the 9th inning, they would take the bag off the field. That was their superstition. So that's where
Interesting.
that's where that expression comes from.
I thought that meant that they had it like secured in a bag.
Well, it did, but
Yeah.
not literally,
Yeah.
but figuratively.
Interesting.
Okay, so the next one, and are we still in a spot where we can? How many
Yeah.
picks till you?
Six
You got
picks until
okay.
my turn.
Okay, the next one. First come, first serve. First come, first serve.
Gosh, that's used a ton.
Yep.
Andrew with a random sound over there.
I'm not sure what that's.
Wait, are you okay?
I'm not sure if
I'm gonna
what's
go.
going on. That's all.
I'm gonna go. Yes. First come, first serve is correct.
That is actually incorrect.
Oh.
Is that because it's first come, first served?
First served.
That's. I realized. I was like.
But a lot,
yeah.
I would say more than half of the people say first come, first serve.
Yeah.
And they just say it like that, but it's first come, first served, which means
That makes more
participants
sense.
would be served in the order which they arrive. That's your first wrong one.
Yeah.
All right, how many till your next pick? We
Five
still got a
picks.
few. Okay, we still got a few. Okay. Here's the next one. Deep-seated. Deep-seated.
Like deep-seated regret?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think that's correct.
It's incorrect. It's deep-seated.
Oh,
Which,
okay.
interestingly,
Oh, it's my turn.
deep... We'll come back to that in a minute. Daniel, what's
Nope.
your draft pick?
Keep going. I'm going with Brandon Cook still on the board.
I knew that one, but I still wasn't 100% sure which one you were saying, Justin.
I said seeded, and I
Yeah.
enunciated it really well.
Go
Yeah.
Braves.
But then Daniel said seated, and I was like, I don't know which one he's saying.
Deep-seated,
okay.
seeded could make sense also, meaning it's deeply planted.
Yeah, that's what
but
I was thinking.
deep-seated, like it's firmly established. It's seated deeply.
So when you're saying that it's incorrect, it's not that the sentence it doesn't make sense. That's just not what the saying actually is.
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking if it was grammatically correct.
That's not what this game is, Daniel.
Okay, no, it's not. I get it.
What do you expect me to do? Explain the rules? I mean, you're getting a little ridiculous here.
Okay, your pick's coming up in soon.
Okay.
Jimmy's picking now.
Okay, if Jimmy leaves Kareem Hunt on the board, I'm going to take him and I'll handcuff him. Dang it, Jimmy! Jimmy, that's 2 in a row!
That's like what Andrew did to you in our other fantasy league.
Bro, that's not cool, man. Okay.
So who are you going with?
Well, I got my tight end, so I'm not going to touch Tyler Higbee. I'm not going to worry about that.
Don't touch him.
I won't
It's
touch him.
icky.
I could go Ronald Jones. That would be a guy that Leonard Fournette is competing with, but he's kind of like the starter in Tampa Bay. I think I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs. I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs and see what he can manage to do in Buffalo this year.
All right.
Actually, I feel pretty good about that. Let's see. Now I got another pick, and I have 2 running backs and 3 receivers. And then I've got a backup running back and a backup receiver.
I need another running back, shockingly.
Typically, I go really running back heavy, especially at the beginning of the draft. So I think I am actually going to take a running back here. So it's Ronald Jones or Jordan Howard. Or I could pick Zach Moss from Buffalo.
Or
I could pick Matt Breida. Or I could pick Devin Singletary. I mean, there's so many choices.
Or you could pick Ben Roethlisberger.
I'm gonna go with Zach Moss out of Buffalo.
No!
I'm gonna go 2 Buffalo Bills in a row. That's generally the best offensive fantasy strategy. Pick as many Buffalo Bills players as possible.
I think that might be the opposite of what is true.
Are you a big Bills fan, Justin?
No, I only root for Florida teams. Bucks, Dolphins, Jaguars. Those are my teams this year. Okay, we're back to Daniel's pick.
Yep. I'm going to go with Matt Breida.
You know, to be completely honest, for where we are in the draft, there's a few running backs that are going to score some points.
Yeah.
On
I'm
the
a little
board
surprised
still.
here.
It makes me think your strategy of keeping all your receivers and waiting and grabbing running backs actually might have worked out pretty well for you.
Shockingly,
you're
it's
not gonna-
looking okay.
You're not going to have my running back duo of Christian McCaffrey and Nick Chubb.
No, but you're not going to have my receiving trio or quartet or quintet, as it has become now, with Tyreek Hill, Tyler Lockett, DJ Chark, DK Metcalf, and Brandon Cooks.
That's true. I do not have nearly as many slightly below top level wide receivers as you do.
And no, I can't play all of them at the same time. And I will be pulling my hair out all year long as to will I pick the correct ones.
Do you often lead the league in points left on the bench?
I'm not even sure, but that sounds right.
Does sound like something you would do.
Yep.
Okay,
All right, back to
We have a few till we get back to your pick,
Okay.
so I'm going to move on to the next one. Scot-free, like you got off scot-free. Is that correct or incorrect? I'm going to spell it for you.
Scot-free, as in, the name Scott?
SCOTFREE.
Oh.
Scot-free.
I'm not sure if I've ever heard it differently.
Some people say scotch-free, which I found online as the most common mispronunciation was scotch-free.
I think scot-free is right.
Yeah, it's right. I just
Okay.
kind of gave it away by telling you what the most common mispronunciation was. I feel like you were leaning that way anyway, so I was going to give it to you. And actually, the meaning behind this one is really interesting, more than whether it's correct or incorrect. It comes from a medieval tax levied in proportional shares on inhabitants, often for poor relief. So the tax collected was called a scot, and if you got money from it, it was called a lot. So where scot was the sum to be paid and lot was the allotted share, if you got off scot-free, that meant you didn't have to pay the tax. Probably meant you were poor, but it meant you didn't have to pay the tax.
Gotcha. All right.
And it has the word medieval in it, which I thought was cool. Okay, we've got 2 picks till you, Daniel.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What's in your head right now?
Off the board yet?
AJ Green's on the board if you want another wide receiver.
I don't, but I'm not sure where I go. Do I take the backup QB here? Because, I mean, I have Dak Prescott. Everybody's thinking he's going to have a big year this year.
This feels early to take a backup quarterback.
I know. But maybe another running back? But I already have 3 running backs as well.
You only have 3?
Yeah.
I had like 7 last year.
Well, this is early in the draft.
How many running backs can you play?
You can only play 2.
Okay.
So
that third receiver spot is not a flex spot.
No. We don't have a flex spot in this league.
Oh, okay.
I'm also going to take a Buffalo Bill.
You're going to take Singletary?
I am.
Devin Singletary.
We'll see which one of our players works better, Zach Moss or Singletary.
Okay. All right. Now we have 2 picks.
Why do we have so many Bills?
2 picks till me. Oh, Daniel Jones is off the board right after Baker Mayfield. These guys are going for backup. There's a run on backup quarterbacks, and everybody seems to be going for the young guys.
You guys are big Josh Allen fans, I take it?
Yes. Josh Allen's a linebacker, right?
All right, it's your turn.
Oh,
Justin.
the first kicker's off the board.
Oh.
Harrison Butker. Picked by Jimmy. That's one he
That's
did not
weird.
steal my pick on that one.
Man, why is he taking kicker?
I've got a bunch
outta
of
here, Jimmy.
backups already at running back, and I've got a backup wide receiver. And I
Wait,
feel
did you talk me out of a backup quarterback to then take a backup quarterback?
No. I'm not going there. Well, I don't know.
He has
Joe
back-to-back
Burrow's
picks
there.
too, though.
Joe Burrow's on the board. That could be a good long-term play. Okay, I'm going to take Hunter Henry. That'll be my backup tight end.
The Bengals are going to ruin Burrow. Like, come on.
Okay, so now I've got a backup tight end. I've got a backup
That
wide
assumes
receiver.
he was good to start.
And 2 backup running backs. So now might be the point. There's no good running backs left. There's no running backs that I feel any kind of way about left on the board. And there's a decent amount of wide receivers I feel like even a little further down the board. So I'm going to take Joseph Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Cincinnati Bengals quarterback. He will be my backup, and I might draft a third guy in just for an emergency.
So you did talk me out of a quarterback to take a quarterback.
Is that the guy you were going to pick?
I don't know.
But yeah, I did, actually. It might seem like I was being devious, but I really wasn't. I was just being kind of dumb.
You were being devious.
I was just giving bad advice.
Yeah, it was bad advice. I mean,
I know who I'm going to pick, and I'm going to go back to an old well
Oh, no.
that did me wrong, but also did me so right one year, I think.
that was a really awkward way to
Yeah,
say that.
It was. How was that for sayings? Do me wrong. All right, we got a couple of picks. So what's the next one?
All right, the next one. For all intensive purposes.
All intensive?
For all intensive
That
purposes.
is incorrect.
Okay, what's the correct?
All intents and purposes.
All intents and purposes. Good job with words, Daniel.
Thank you.
Do you happen to know where that originates from?
Cam Newton.
Did you
No,
just pick Cam
not
Newton?
Cam Newton.
Yep, just picked Cam Newton.
It did not originate from Cam Newton, but I can see that you just did pick Cam Newton.
Yep.
When you went back to, did you pick Cam as a rookie?
I think, yeah, Cam was
Oh,
like
yeah.
one of
had
my
him.
first picks.
He was your quarterback.
Yeah, he was
when
my
he was
guy.
good, and then he failed you
After a while,
after a while. But he was pretty good for
Yeah.
you for a while. Okay.
So I'm going back to the well there.
Okay.
You
I'm
thought
glad.
you thought I was going to start picking Browns players.
That's
didn't
what
ya?
I thought.
I mean, I did trick you out of picking Joe Burrow so I could get him. I'm just saying. Okay, next one. Oh wait, no, I didn't explain where intents and purposes came from.
Okay.
It originates from English law dating back to the 1500s, which used the phrase "to all intents, constructions, and purposes," which means officially or effectively. So it dates back over 500 years for
Wow.
all. But I've heard even on television for all intensive purposes. Okay.
That's really bad one.
Yeah, that's
I feel
terrible.
Like that one's like you're losing track of what words mean at that point.
But some of these idioms don't actually make actual grammatical sense.
Yeah.
Some of them are based on something from a long time ago or even in another language. Okay, here's the next one. By and large. By and large.
Ooh, by
So
and
that's
large.
that's something people tend to say to mean like in general.
Yeah,
By and large.
I think that's correct.
It is actually incorrect. The correct term is by and large.
By and large?
And here's one that actually doesn't make sense grammatically because it's a nautical phrase derived from the sailing terms by and large, and it goes back to 1706.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's very
Wait,
interesting.
What
is
was the incorrect one?
By in large.
Oh, by in large?
Yeah.
Okay, I was hearing by an large.
You need to open
which
your
is
ears up,
how
bro.
I generally say it, because I leave off the D.
So you
but-
knew that one then?
I knew how to say it properly. I didn't know where it was from.
Interesting. What is
Okay.
a by and what is a large?
I don't know.
I'm not
Okay.
They're
sure.
nautical sailing terms from the 1700s.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
modern.
Okay, here's another one. Case and point. Case and point, which is an idiom that you hear a lot when people are making an argument on the radio. They'll go, case and point, and then say something else that's
I've also
probably as
kinda
stupid
heard
as
it,
what
like,
they said before.
Slurred like case in point. I'm gonna say case and point is correct.
Case and point is incorrect.
Gosh, dang it!
But right now you need to focus because in a few seconds you're going to have to make your next pick, okay? Boy, I know I talked about AJ Green like a few rounds ago, but he's still sitting there.
know.
Do you need another receiver?
No, but I like AJ Green,
I mean, I feel like you're kind of silly if you don't pick him at this point.
right? Like that's
Or you could go down and pick another running back because I just noticed there's actually three guys that might get some points on the board here.
yeah. I'm seeing Philip Lindsay, Tevin Coleman, Latavius Murray.
Yep, that's a guy who's in a running back room and
Yeah.
figures to be in the mix.
You just said he is a running back.
Yep.
He's in the running back room.
Yeah.
He plays that position.
Or you could pick Adrian Peterson. I mean, ignore that little NA that's next to his name there.
Yeah.
Who'd you pick, Daniel?
I took AJ Green.
Oh, yeah.
I
Good
got all
pick.
of the receiver.
Okay, so I've got a couple more picks till
The
me.
Lions.
These ones are
The
moving.
Lions
Oh,
picked up Adrian Peterson to a 1-year deal.
Philip Lindsay off the
interesting.
board. Okay, if Jimmy doesn't take him, I'm going to pick Tevin Coleman. But Jimmy has been kind of messing me over.
He's been all over your picks so far.
Yeah. Oh, Emmanuel Sanders still on the board.
That's another guy I was looking at instead
Yeah,
of AJ Green.
yeah. Okay, so it's probably Tevin Coleman. Since I get two picks, I'd probably go Tevin Coleman and Emmanuel Sanders. Sanders?
Seniors? I'm pretty sure
Seniors?
that's
That is
incorrect.
I'm gonna
actually
take
incorrect.
I'm going to take Emmanuel Sanders.
Seniors.
Jimmy, come on. You're taking too long.
I gotta
pick.
say, picking like
Jimmy took Emmanuel Sanders, that turd monkey. He was like, he was like 8 guys down on the list.
I gotta
Come
say,
on.
drafting so close to like you want to be at the top or bottom. I feel like of a draft in the snake, but it also makes it hard because you have to think 2 to 3 to 4 players ahead instead
That's
of just
true.
1 or 2.
I hate thinking more than I have to. I honestly do.
We pretty much
Yeah.
pretty sure we already.
I
knew
try to
that.
get through my days thinking as little as possible, in general. Okay,
know-
I took Tevin Coleman, and I'm gonna go.
That makes
I'm gonna go
sense.
throwback here
Okay.
and take a guy that I loved when he was with the Seahawks. I'm gonna pick Golden Tate.
Wait, I
Oh,
thought you already
he's
picked
still
2
available?
guys.
No, I picked Tevin Coleman and Golden Tate.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Remember, Emmanuel Sanders got stolen from me
Right,
by
right,
Jimmy
right.
because apparently all he's doing is listening to. Wait, is he listening to us through the ceiling?
That would be amazing.
Jimmy's got his ear to the. So, just so you know, we are in our studio, which happens to be in like the underneath floor of Jimmy's house. So he very well could have his ear to the floor right now in listening to everything that I want and then picking those guys.
That
Okay.
would be hilarious.
Okay, so case in point derives its meaning from an old dialect of French. Where it may not make any logical sense today, it is a fixed idiom based on French.
I was trying to pay attention to that, but also it's my turn to pick.
Okay. Oh, the Seattle defense is off the board. Am I alone in this now? I always wait till the last 2. I never pick a defense or a kicker before the last 2 rounds.
I'm probably picking this guy high, but you know what? I didn't pick him first or second like Andrew ended up doing. Gardner Minshew!
Minshew was still on the board, and I picked Joe Burrow like an idiot.
Yes, you did.
This show completely distracted me. Oh, man, I'm so angry. How did I let that happen?
Steal that pick from Justin
Yes!
Daniel?
I'm over here trying to talk you through things, Daniel, and help you pick guys, and you're just going to completely neglect to remind me.
It was nice of you that once you talked him out of taking a backup quarterback, you left the best backup quarterback for him.
That's true. I'm so grateful right now that that's what happened.
I'm mad. I'm protesting.
Okay, so case in point, I got that wrong. What's next?
Okay, next one. Beat around the bush. Beat around the bush. Is that correct or incorrect?
Again, I haven't heard it any other way, so I'm going to assume it's correct.
Okay, it is correct. So sometimes you keep saying that and then it's wrong.
But most of these.
This one's correct, okay? So, beat around the bush means to avoid the point. It's a common phrase and is thought to have originated in response to game hunting in Britain. While hunting birds, participants would beat bushes in order to draw out the birds. Therefore, they were beating around the bush before getting to the main point in the hunt, which was to murder the birds.
Oh. For deliciousness, hopefully.
Yes, I hope so. I don't know. Maybe for game. I don't know. I'm not judging them. Okay, it's almost your pick again, Daniel. We got one more before you. I'm not going to try to talk you through this anymore. You can be you're on your own.
Oh, so I was just going to ask you for advice.
Go ahead.
Because I've been seeing this Mike Gesicki guy on draft boards.
Yeah.
But I have no idea who he is. Like, why are people expecting him to be a pretty good tight end?
Well, I think he had he's a younger guy and he had a pretty good year last year. Actually, I can look it up. He had 51 catches for 570 yards and 5 touchdowns last year. So I think people are looking for progression there. And also he plays for Miami, which was a turd fire. It's like a turd burger and a dumpster fire combined.
Okay.
It was a turd fire last year, but this year they signed a buttload of free agents.
Well, I think I'm going to take him.
Okay. That's a Miami tight end.
Yeah.
Mike Gesicki.
Mike?
Gesicki.
Is it Gesicki?
It's spelled Gesicki.
All right. Well, he's on my team, so I'm getting sicky.
Okay. Now I'm realizing, too, we're really almost at the end here. I have one more pick, and then I'm going defense and tight end. Or defense and kicker.
Yeah, that's all I have left is defense and kicker.
I've got 2 backup wide receivers, 3 backup running backs, a backup quarterback that's not Minshew, and I'm angry about it, and a backup tight end. So this is kind of a wild card. I could just pick whoever's the best player on the board. TJ Hawkinson, Detroit tight end. He's supposed to be good. I could go that way. I think he was a rookie last year and he was hurt for a lot of the year, but he's really talented.
But you just said it, so is Jimmy going to take him?
Maybe. Jimmy, don't take him. Don't take him.
So
22
hard.
seconds. Jimmy, don't take TJ Hawkinson,
He's
please.
been listening. That's why it's taking
Oh, no,
so
he's
long.
on auto draft. Look, he's on auto draft. It's going to pick, if he doesn't get in the next 14 seconds, it's going to pick Jamison Crowder for him.
Jamison Crowder and the Jets.
And then I've got to pick a defense. Oh, boy.
Boy.
Ooh, Minnesota's defense is on the board still. I think that'd be pretty good.
Jimmy took Jamison Crowder.
Jamison
No,
Crowder.
wait.
Okay.
Nope. Jimmy took Minnesota's defense.
Jimmy!
That's amazing.
That's not cool.
That is amazing.
We were talking. Oh my gosh! I
Right
can't
at the
believe
last
this.
second, he hops in from the auto draft.
Oh,
He's got the cup down to the floor, right over you, and he's like, Minnesota defense.
that was not cool.
That was brilliant.
Because I was talking about other players until there was like 2 seconds left on his timer, and then I said, "Ooh, the Minnesota defense is on the board," and immediately he picked Minnesota.
That is just so good. I can't express to you how happy I am. Now he's picking again. Do you want to tell him another person to pick?
No, I'm gonna pout. Here's the next idiom.
Okay.
Nip this in the bud. Let's nip this in the bud.
I always liked it better when it was nip it in the butt.
Yeah.
But it is nip this in the bud, I believe, because you are nipping the bud of a flower.
Okay, well, you're correct.
Woohoo!
It's not nip this in the butt, as many people say. I always picture like a dog running behind someone and chomping at their butt.
Exactly.
But nip this in the bud means that you're putting an end to it before it has a chance to grow or start. So like you said, like a flower. Like if you nip it while it's in the bud, then it doesn't have a chance to bloom.
Exactly.
Okay. Are we almost at your pick?
Yep.
You're next.
I need a kicker or defense. Oh, here I am. Can I? I almost said my password right there.
Daniel, say into the microphone while we're recording the show what your password is.
Yeah, that was close. Ugh. Defenses. I don't like any of these.
Well, I would say Minnesota, but Minnesota got stolen away from me by Jimmy.
I took the Chargers.
Okay. All right. I only have I have two more idioms. Here's your first one.
Okay.
Butt naked. Like that dude is butt naked streaking across the field.
Yeah.
Is that correct or incorrect?
I'm not sure if I've heard it any other way, but that's got me in trouble.
That's true, but you've also gotten a couple right that way. Butt naked.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Butt naked.
It is not correct.
Gosh darn it.
The
I knew it.
expression actually is buck naked.
Wait. I thought they were two different expressions.
Well, what? No, you're wrong. Buck naked.
What?
Although there are different ideas of where this originated, people think in general that it refers to the fact that animals don't wear any clothes. And it was used, like, they used buck skins. So, buck naked. Okay, one more. If you're trying to say that you disagree with something, would you say, that doesn't jive? That doesn't jive.
That doesn't.
I mean, you've heard that expression, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that doesn't jive.
I'm going to say, I'm going to go. So this comes purely because jive sounds like another word that is a sailing term. Jibe. Right? That's a sailing term, Andrew?
Jibe is a sailing term.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to say that is incorrect because it's actually that doesn't jibe is the
But-
correct one.
Explain how the sailing term fits with the saying.
Well, you can't do it. I don't know. That doesn't work very well.
Okay,
Like-
you're saying that doesn't jive is incorrect, and the correct saying is that doesn't jibe.
No. Maybe. No. I don't know enough about sailing. Andrew's freaking out at me over here. No, he's reading something.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it's incorrect because I've been so wrong on all of these, but now you're going to be like, you suck.
Well, you are correct that it's incorrect.
Good,
And
but it's
actually,
not-
the correct saying is that doesn't jibe.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because
you made me feel like a jackwagon when I had it right.
because the reason you said was wrong, because it is a sailing term, but that's not where the expression comes from. Jibe actually is a word that means to agree or be in accord with something. So if
Oh.
you say that doesn't jibe, then you're saying that information doesn't agree with the rest of what
Oh,
happened.
shoot, it's my turn.
5 seconds,
I
Daniel.
don't see Myers anywhere. This guy's
Jake
a kicker.
Elliott.
Oh, I didn't get my pick in time.
You picked Jake Elliott. You picked the guy whose name I just shouted.
Was he on the top of the list?
Yes, he was.
He was not a kicker?
He was a kicker. He was
Okay.
the kicker on the top of the kicker list.
Okay, good.
And then my kicker got taken. Okay,
Ooh,
Jimmy.
Joe's boys took Josh Gordon. Interesting.
Oh, now Jimmy picks Jamison Crowder.
So, Mr. Irrelevant of this year's draft, who you taking?
I'm going to take
Get about.
Kaimi Fairbairn, the
All
kicker from the Houston Texans.
All right. Are you sure his name's not D. Johnson?
Yes, it is not D. Johnson. That's actually interesting. We finished the two segments at the same time here. Fantasy draft is over. Stump
Yeah.
Daniel is over. That draft was half an hour.
It's all water under the fridge
That's
now,
how
boys.
quick a draft.
I love the way our draft is set up.